Hey, I'm Col.
And I'm Phil.
And welcome to X-Rated, the show where we tell you how we went from boyfriends to best friends.
And help you stop being a petty bitch so you can be best friends with your ex. Is that what it is?
Nice. Phil, what's the most petty thing you've done this week?
I don't think I've been petty at all this week. Oh, damn. I'm sorry, guys.
What's petty mean?
What?
It's like...
you didn't need to get him back, but you did. You know what I mean? Petty comments. Damn, what an inauspicious start to this pod.
Am I allowed? I know that we're not. This isn't great, but what's inauspicious?
Forget it. This is a great start to the pod. Not going well.
Yeah, okay. Hello, listeners. If this is your first time, sorry about that. We are Col and Fil. We used to be boyfriends. Yeah. Now we're best friends. We've been talking about the journey.
How we got there. They might like to be reminded that we were a couple. Maybe if they're watching, they'd like to picture us doing it.
Yeah,
or maybe this is where they're like, ooh.
Yeah, if you want to picture us doing it, go crazy.
Yeah.
Do you ever jerk it while, like, subconsciously while you're doing other things on the computer that have nothing to do with?
100%. And I've heard, I feel like this, in case anyone thinks we're stealing a bit, I have heard a bit where, like, Sarah Silverman and someone were talking about just, like, having their hand in their pants throughout the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're talking one up. You're talking about, like, starting to actually...
just
because I've done that as well, like semi on the phone.
Just like, honestly, I think whenever I'm like anxious, like not anxious, but just like, I'm busy doing something, I might just be like, tick.
Yeah. And then either you're like, oh, what am I doing? Or you're like, oh, actually,
what am I doing? And what could I be doing faster?
Damn.
Right. Last week we talked about scheduling in our breakup and how we had originally scheduled our breakup in for 6 months after or so, because it lined up with the end of our lease.
And then we also pondered, have people done this before? And then we landed on perhaps yes.
Yeah. And this week, we are going to be talking about what the hell was it like when we moved from our 2-bedroom apartment to a... from our 1-bedroom apartment to a 2-bedroom apartment as adult men, newly single, no longer together. Phil?
What? My brain. There's something...
Yeah, you should have taken some notes.
I should have taken some notes. No. Okay. What was it like? So we had some dates. We got on the apps.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Classic comedian material. Who's on the apps? Anyone here on the apps? Yeah.
I remember...
I'm still... Well, guys, Col is engaged now, whereas I, to this day, single, which I'm fine with. But also it does mean that I'm still on the apps.
Yeah. So I met my now fiancé in September of the year that we broke up, which was approximately 5 months after this period of time that we're talking about right now.
Pretty quick. Really, damn, can I say something so bad?
What?
I thought it would be me. Is that so bad?
Who got engaged or
who would have a boyfriend first?
Why?
I don't know. Maybe because I met you and that lasted so long, I just was like, I'm just the boyfriend type.
Yeah, but
then you're the boyfriend type by that logic.
Yeah, and also I am the initiator type.
That is true, and that's part of what I need to work on, which I am getting a lot better at. I've already told you this story, but I had a message on Hinge the other day that was very Grindr coded, and it was very lovely. That guy who was like, wanna fuck?
Mm.
I love that.
Mm.
There was something about the transgression of a message like that on an app where that should not be. Because that app is all about circling the airport forever. Getting to know each other, looking at all our fucking pictures.
You don't like Hinge?
I actually love Hinge.
So, listeners, We
Moved down the hall.
Down the hall. And when...
Can we recommend moving down the hall? If you have to move down the hall.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah.
No van.
Just 2 hands, 2 legs.
No phones. People living in the moment.
Drinking out of the hose. I remember pretty much as soon as we got the keys to the new place that night, I jumped on not Grindr. Oh, what did you say? Cried. I did. No, I don't think I would have cried.
I think it was a beautifully emotional time.
Yeah, I'm about to tell a different story.
Yeah, you jumped on Grindr.
I didn't jump on Grindr. I jumped on Instagram, where this boy had he messaged me. I think I don't know. He just like added me after Midsummer. I think we maybe saw each other very briefly. And
do I know this story?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it's not jumping out at me, but go on.
Yeah. And anyway, I invited him over and I fucked him on the floor of my new bedroom.
Damn. Was it good?
It was condom sex.
Fuck. This is maybe the thing that's gonna we're the big like raw pod.
We are the raw
pod.
Because
I do just I know it's like if someone's a doctor and they have a reason to think otherwise, I kind of am like, with PrEP, who cares? Anything else you can treat, right?
Yeah. I will say that being said,
it's so bad. Is it irresponsible? Is this like, if we were straight guys, would this be gross if we were like on a pod being like, condom sex? No. But I hate it.
No. I think that like the big thing is pregnancy and HIV.
Yeah.
Like,
are there any other, what do the rest of them do?
They can
crabs doesn't seem that bad.
Me and my fiance, we are in an open relationship.
You are.
And twice during our open relationship, I have got gonorrhea. And,
I've never had that one.
And
damn, maybe I don't have a good enough body count.
I
need to go and get some gonorrhea.
Oh, well, yeah, I can recommend someone.
God.
I'm just going to say that the 2 times were related to the same person.
Oh, and I have slept with him and I didn't get gonorrhea. My body count's fine. Go on.
No, but I actually think, so in fairness to that person, if you are listening, I think if anything, the second time I gave it to you, so.
Damn, anyway, that's petty.
So, okay. All right, this is really exciting because I actually really want to lay out all my thoughts on the table for this. So I love raw sex. I love it so much and it feels maybe 10 times better
100 times better.
Yeah. Phil and I, we were pretty much each other's first, for anal penetration. I had a few little trysts, but for the most part, we were our first. Yeah. And we were in a monogamous relationship from when we were 23. So we really were spoilt for choice when it came. No, that's not what that means. We were limited for choice. The only choice was to not wear condoms.
We were spoiled rotten when it comes to raw sex.
Yeah, we went to the STI clinic together to say, should we wear condoms? And she's
like,
nah, you're spoiled. I don't know.
Keep it pushing.
Yeah, so I love raw sex. It's so good. And I've had I think I would have had raw sex thousands of times. And I think I've had condom sex top 10.
Dude, me too. Yeah. And actually one of them was that time with you, which was awesome.
Yeah. But that's because it was like
one time we weren't teenagers, and it was one time when we did it in a golf course at night.
Just to be very, very, very responsible, sexual health is very important, and I've never had raw sex where I haven't been on PrEP. I'm okay with getting the rest. Gonorrhea, syphilis, whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
Except...
Also, if it really came... Go on.
Except now that I am in an open relationship with my fiance, it means that if one of us gets something, we have to put pause on us. And a lot of the times, that's not actually worth it.
That changes the God, what's the fucking word?
Cost benefit.
The cost benefit analysis of being single and fucking around versus the cost benefit analysis of being an open couple changes everything.
Except what I will say is that, so for me, I think it's actually a good thing. I think here's a hot take. STIs are a good thing because they keep you honest.
Yeah.
Because now
maybe they are just nature's way of making you think twice. I don't really want to be here. This is worth it. Yeah.
If I'm going to have sex with somebody now, I actually do think, is this worth a potential 10 days without having sex with Mike and a trip to the doctor and a shot or like whatever. And so like putting people through that filter, it's good.
And you know what's so funny? I completely understand what you mean about the cost benefit analysis is different when you're single, when you're with a partner who you could be having sex with. And yet ideally you'd think that the maths would be the same being single, and yet it's not.
Yeah, but it's not, but only slightly. And look, I'm going to be honest with you, Phil. I think that you can do a little bit of work to bring those calculations more similarly in that if you were having sex more often, the calculation would be more similar. How many days since you last had sex, Phil?
Damn, it's been a while. I have been a little bit busy and crazy recently. Listeners, I'm going to catch you up. At New Year's this year, I was literally like, this is going to be my year. This year is going to be the year of all year. I never make it so, I don't like to jinx. I never make it so, you know what I mean?
I don't think there's been a single New Year's that I've known Phil where he hasn't said this is going to be my year.
Well, the point is, it's February and I feel like Belle Gibson, dude. As in, I feel like I've had 3 cardiac arrests. I've died on the operating table twice. I've really had a tough year. But I'm really back and I'm ready to have more sex.
Yes, I did, Tara.
Tara, that's not a lie. Because... Damn. All right, we got to do a whole episode about her.
I know.
Could we have her on? She's in Melbourne doing nothing, right?
Oh, I would love if we could have Belle Gibson on. But surely she wouldn't agree. I mean,
she agreed to get humiliated on that other thing. Oh, yeah. But they paid her.
Yeah,
they would have had to pay her.
Yeah, and she.
How much should we?
If anybody knows how much it would cost to get Belle Gibson on the pod next week, please let us know.
Surely she's at she's run out of grifter money by now. Do you know what I mean? Because she managed to grift a lot of money.
Yeah.
But it's it's been a few years.
Yeah.
And she can't just work at the bank.
Yeah, and I'm gonna guess that she's not the best at finances.
Gonna guess that too.
Anyway,
I haven't had sex in 6 weeks.
Yes.
But that's the last time I had sex. And that was a great session.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a long
shout out.
Dude, that's a long time.
Shout out to Phil's last session.
Things got complicated between us. Oh, now I'm sad.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Do you want to ask the viewers for advice?
No.
Okay. But really,
because they did. Do you know why? Sorry, I always interrupt. But the reason I don't want to ask the viewers for advice is because I feel like, have you ever had a thing where you've gotten into a weird space with someone and you're not sure if it was you, and then you actually do a deep dive post-mortem in the messages and go, oh, I was fine.
Yeah.
And you actually weirdly exonerate yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, I did that.
But do you feel like you've made things stranger by trying to exonerate yourself?
Yeah.
Which actually, good segue, is that was a lesson that I learned during my single period in our 2-bedroom apartment.
Go on.
So one of the first boys that I went
on.
Is this? Yeah, but you can't do that. Phil just mouthed the boy. His name.
I'm mouth that boy good. Carry on.
Yeah, I really want you to come over and mouth me tonight.
Feels really it makes you think of no teeth, but in a bad way, like missing teeth.
I think it's like blowjob with really open mouth, so it's like your lips aren't even touching. So one of the first dates that I went on while I was freshly single, I had this gorgeous date where we went out for beers and had pizza and we got along and I walked him back to my place and we had like a beautiful steamy kiss in the elevator and it was one of those, for me at least, it was I have to kiss you right now. It wasn't here's the end of the date, let's do this.
And that's what I had with oh damn, maybe I was in love. Maybe I could have been in love.
Well, what I'm describing isn't love.
Go on. I'm doing my own story about me in my own head.
But I brought him upstairs. We smoked some weed on the balcony. We blew the smoke into each other's mouths. He was wearing like jeans and a white t-shirt. He was super sexy. He was a really good kisser. I brought him into the bedroom and I took off his shirt and he had beautiful abs, and then I took off his pants and ate his ass. And it was just a really beautiful night. He didn't stay the night, which is fine. I think that's pretty normal for
a first, yeah. In fact, first stay the night, I feel like is very it's giving rom-com. It's giving like the next day you're like, that was the one. Do you know what I mean? I feel like if I stay the night the first night, I'd be like, whoa. This is you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I personally just don't put that much stock in this means this. This is how many you can. This is date number 5 is the date that you can show your teeth.
That's a Lady Gaga song.
Yeah, show me your teeth.
On date number 5. Yeah, that's what that song was about. It was about date number 5.
Is Show Me Your Teeth? It's got a very burlesque energy. Is it
very burlesque?
Is it in that movie?
No.
I
know. Good.
Burlesque. Dun, 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 dun. God, awful movie, but awesome movie.
Awful movie. That's why I really want to see Madam Web next week, because it's been a minute since I've seen a movie that did that.
Yeah.
That was there. They're all either good or like not good in a boring way.
Yeah. Little Lexi's, we're planning on going to see Madam Web after we record the next episode. So I think tune into episode 5 if you want to hear more about Madam Web. If you want to hear more about Burlesque,
tune in right now.
Tune in every week.
Damn, such a good movie.
My beautiful date. He left and it was beautiful.
I'm afraid I've seen him on the apps and would I go there too?
Yeah, he's sexy. We had a second date. We had a second date at like a beautiful restaurant where we did like a feed me menu with booze.
Wow, okay.
It's important because that's expensive.
You just said it's so weird. But no, if you're doing a feed me with booze, like that's
he paid for me. It was like $100 a head or $90 a head, and he paid for me. And because he's rich.
Damn.
But
I gotta get rich this year. That's really part of my dating plan, to be honest.
But yeah, he was mine too. It's just part of my live my life plan.
Yeah.
And
I mean that in a like totally positive. Like, here is what I may interrupt you too much.
No. I think let's go down this rabbit hole and we'll come back.
Here's what I think. It's a really complicated. The whole thing about like changing yourself for people is a really complicated like rabbit hole, because you don't want to like
Phil. There's no such thing as yourself. You're always changing for whoever's around you.
Yeah.
So go on.
You always take it to some like next level Gandhi thing that
like
I can't even that I can't even keep track of. It's like I'll be like, yeah, like what does it matter if? And then you're like, yeah, because what's if and what's matter? I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're on right now. But no, I feel like it's very when it comes to like changing yourself for lovers or for like dating or whatever. I don't know, it's a really hard thing because a lot of the time it's so like, be yourself, da 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 da. And I agree. But at the same time, like, I want a certain caliber of man. And therefore, like, you go in a shop, something costs a certain amount. You go, that's how much money I need to pay for that thing if I want it.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. I'm like, well, I want to date into a certain category. So like, yeah, I have to go to the gym. And I have to do a little better. Yeah. And I have to get a little bit more money. And that's okay. Because it's what I want.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And that's what's important. It's just that you have to
know if you want it or not.
Want that, acknowledge the cost, and be happy to pay the cost.
And this is why it annoys me when like the Twitter discourse goes around with like, where they'll like take some random like pool party full of like jacked guys that work in PR or whatever. And I'm like, where are the bigger bodies and why aren't I here? And it's like, well, you're not doing that. And they're doing that. Do you know what I mean?
Why aren't I here?
Well, that's essentially what they want to say, but they won't. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, well, if you're not about that life, then you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
I think it's actually a very I think people who like need you to like change your most authentic stuff is like one thing. But I think like if you want something, do the work to go get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I
don't know. Maybe too controversial. I don't know.
I don't know. I think that with body stuff as well,
it's a lot of work to have an exceptional body, and I understand if you've done that work, you're like, well, now I want to match.
Yeah.
I want to get the same.
I also think that it makes 100% sense why you would be attracted to a partner that demonstrates a level of discipline.
100%. Anyway.
Like,
Are we doing a real bro podcast right now?
No. I don't know. Are we? Sounds awesome.
You don't know what I mean by that.
I do know what you mean by that, and I made a joke.
Sorry.
Because I would say that Mike is a very disciplined person.
100%.
Not in the realm of gym. And
okay.
What?
So that sounds like a read, but I know what you mean.
No. Like he's extremely sexy and he has a great body, but he doesn't spend a lot of the time at the gym. But
and I agree with everything you just said.
But he is disciplined and a hard worker, and I find that attractive. 100%. And I think that is a trait shared by a lot of guys who do go to the gym. At the same time, there are some people that spend so much time at the gym or make it so much a part of them that I find that unattractive, but they might find that attractive. And it's just like, it's different lifestyles. People with different lifestyles attract other people with similar lifestyles. That's it. And I'm not apologizing for being a bro. In fact, I love it.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Your gorgeous date with the booze.
My booze, yeah,
Your boozy ass date.
He was a bit of a workaholic because even in the Uber home from the second date, he was like getting ready for a project the next morning.
So you guess that cash. That's what all those TikToks are about.
Yeah.
Where they're like, while you were asleep, I'm already getting up and checking my portfolio.
Yeah, but I don't care about that. I don't care about that kind of bro advice. No matter how many people tell me that I have to wake up at 4 a.m. to be successful, I am very successful by all the measures that I care about, and I do not wake up at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you want to go? We went home. And I think we just had like another beautiful evening of kissing and weed and blowing smoke
up each other's asses.
And then he wanted to go home because he had a project there.
Isn't it funny that like blowing smoke into a mouth is sexy, but if you did blow it in his ass, it would be really lame.
I swear to God, a friend has told me that they had a hookup once where someone blew meth smoke up their ass.
To what end?
The back end.
I know. I really teed that up. But like, do you get meth high?
I don't know, because do you remember that thing where like girls would like put like soak tampons in vodka?
I swear that's an urban myth. No one's done that, right?
I mean, every urban myth has been done after it's an urban
Baba Yaga.
myth.
I'm joking.
What's Baba Yaga?
It's like Bigfoot.
What's Baba Yaga? Is that Bigfoot?
No, it's like it's a Russian one. about like an evil witch in the forest or something.
Sounds like a Russian bukkake.
Yeah.
Does everyone know what a bukkake is?
Yep, I'm sure.
Boy came over, second date, great, sexy time, blowing smoke all around. And then he wanted to get an Uber, and I walked him down, and he cuddled me from behind, while purely of his own volition.
You went like, give it to me.
I'm making it clear that there are some black and white signals that he gave me. He bought me a boozy dinner, $90 dinner, and then cuddled me from behind. And which you don't have to do that if you're just interested in hooking up.
I agree.
And yeah, and then in the weeks to follow, he was really hard to pin down, and he started to like not really reply to me. And then I kind of tried to correct my behavior. I thought that I had been too clingy, or was like trying to like, and so then I sent messages which was like, oh, sorry if I'm being too boyfriendy, like, and I kept like trying to like walk it back, and like what I did wasn't crazy, but even if it was, it's just like, I feel like if you've only seen someone twice, you just kind of can't, there's no way to fix their impression of you other than just continuing to be.
That sort of anxious stuff, unfortunately, like, here's the thing. Having the instinct of like, oh no, I've said too much, I should just say something about how I know I've said too much and it's okay. Unfortunately, it is quicksand. Yeah, you literally cannot like, just
boner killer.
Keep it pushing and it'll work out, or it won't. But as soon as you start anxiously apologizing for the anxious attachment, so on and so forth, when you're on the receiving end of that, it is, I need to get, this person's too much.
It's disgusting, what I mean? Honestly.
I love it because we just told this very like compassionate story about you. But no. It's so human. And unfortunately, literally, dear listeners, if you're in any situation that is any way, shape or form similar to this, you have to let go.
You got to let it be.
If you feel that starting up, put the phone down. If there's one thing I know about dating, it's this. Honestly. And it's so easy to when you go on, and I'm talking to like new guys on Tinder and like whatever, and like every time I like write a message that I'm like, oh, afterwards, I'm literally just like, leave it. Do not explain it. Do not do anything more. And then if they come back, then keep it pushing. Keep it.
Yeah. Or you can write to them and be like, I don't have to explain myself to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's how to assert dominance, and that you're not anxious and you're not questioning yourself. My message was normal. But yeah, it's damn, I am actually having kind of a moment of I'm doing mental receipts of my own relationship with.
Yeah.
Because I wonder what you just said about like that beautiful night you had and how much it was so like, I didn't dream this behavior from the other guy.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's how he felt after like coming over and like having sex and like ordering ramen and watching The Holiday and all of that. And I didn't ghost. I don't think I've ever ghosted in my life, but I maybe was just not super eager back. And I wonder if that made the same impression to him.
No, but like, I actually don't think that that's a problem. Like, I don't look back on my experience with that boy and think, oh, why did he lead me on like that? I think that it's nice to like, dating can be, I see you 2 times, I see you 3 times, we have a lovely time, it's cute. Yeah. It can be a little bit romantic, it can be sexy, it can be sensual, it can be all those things.
Because I also think it's very corny when people, especially in gay land, no, actually no, I think it's actually, I'm going to say this is both, this cuts across both. People need to be very compartmental about like, this is just sex, we don't talk. I don't want to hear, out of here, I don't want to hear
a word out of your mouth.
Do you know what I mean? I think that it's really fine to like have someone over for sex and then like chat a bit and then send them home. You know what I mean? And then maybe message later, maybe not. You know what I mean? I think it's nice when it doesn't have to be like you're a complete person or you're a fleshlight. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think Mike has a little bit of he likes things to be a little bit more compartmentalized. I wouldn't go to fleshlight, but
fair enough.
But he doesn't really like to blur the lines. Like when he was dating, it's kind of like, what is this?
Yeah, he told me because he would get feelings. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's a fair enough thing to know. But like the thing is that it's all individual. So your communication has to be as clear every single time that you're seeing someone rather than having these. Am I boring you?
No, I'm just checking how long we've been doing.
God, it's long. Yeah, rather than having like, I just think that you will have the most difficult life if you have these rules baked into your mind that you think that everybody is following when they're actually not. The best thing that you can do is if you've got an expectation, you vocalize it and find out whether or not the other person's on the same page.
I also, just to exonerate myself further to our listeners, I just wasn't, the guy I was seeing is very like, send you memes a few times a day sort of thing. And I just didn't do that. But then I was like, let's hang out a couple of times, to which he didn't always respond. I wonder if he was kind of like coming from a place of like, well, if you're not
sending me memes, then what are we doing?
I'm going to single minion from you all day, so forget it. What if he was sending me? Actually, do you know what? Do you know what I actually love? He is Latin.
Yeah.
And I don't mean this in like a weird fetishy way. It's really nice dating someone ESL or someone from a different culture because you do get like he will send me like a slightly corny meme because that's at the like level of his. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's cute.
It's funny how you like if somebody whose English was their first language sent you something like that, you might be like lame.
100%. Yeah, 100% block.
My fiance, who is Colombian, in case you haven't tuned in before, he bought a T-shirt once and he came home and he was like, look what I bought. And it's a long sleeve black T-shirt that has toy blocks on it, which spell out first world problems.
When I think of that, I feel like I'm like the way you feel when you like see a TikTok of like a puppy. Like it makes me like want to like cry and smile. I don't know. It's so cute. Yeah. Does he still have it?
Yeah.
Has he gotten self-conscious about it?
No.
Because we laughed about it.
No.
Good.
No, he doesn't get self-conscious.
No, he doesn't, man. Yeah. I love that. Anyway.
Sometimes if he is trying to say something and it happens to be so wrong that it makes me really laugh, he'll get a little bit like coy.
Yeah.
The other day, he really loves the smoothie machine at 7-Eleven.
I thought they just did slushies.
No,
smoothies.
They do both. Yeah, so now they have smoothies.
What?
Smoothies, it's like ice and fruit juice and I think maybe something milky, and then they have like frappes as well. It's a very crazy machine. It is, but he was trying to say slushy and he was like, should we go get sluts? And I burst out laughing, and then I couldn't. It was so funny to me.
It's great. It hits now.
It was so funny to me that I couldn't stop laughing and correct him. And whenever something is like that, where he gets something wrong that makes me laugh, and not be able to correct him, he does he starts laughing, but then he goes to what, and then he does.
I know exactly what you get. Damn.
My fiance is so beautiful, and we hope to have him on the pod sometime.
Yeah, he's the best. He's this might be an unusual situation, especially for you people who are not on my emotional level, but I'm best friends with my ex's new fiance because I'm just like Gwen Stefani.
Who's she? What's she doing?
I mean, she wrote the song about it. I don't know how true it is. I assume it's true. No, I think it's about, because she was in a relationship with one of the guys from, like, the drummer from No Doubt. And I think that that's true. that they stayed friends.
Yeah.
And I imagine she's friends with his wife.
Yeah. I was going to segue into talking about some of the difficulties that we had during that period.
Well, I'm so sorry. This is not the way that a podcast should be structured, but this conversation has got me thinking about my recent dalliance and its outcome. And now I can't stop thinking about it.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I am going to ask the listeners for some advice. Listeners, write in, DM us. It's just a really hard situation because I feel like I've gotten into this awkward spot with... And now I feel like... Have you ever gotten into like a bit of a awkward situationship with someone and you want to keep seeing them, but you're maybe not ready to be like, hey, I want to be your boyfriend. Be with me. And it feels a little bit like they need a grand gesture. Is there nothing, like if that's the case, if I'm not ready to do the grand gesture, but I just want to keep hanging out, but he's not really receptive to just like, hey, let's just keep hanging out and see, then do I just have to let it go? I just have to let it go, don't I?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with waiting a couple of weeks and then just saying, hey, do you want to grab a drink? Like you don't need to have a conversation by a text about like, what do we want and what is this, blah, blah, blah. If you like, and also you don't even need to wait a couple of weeks. Like if you want to see him tomorrow night, ask him.
Yeah.
He'll say yes, he'll say no. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I messaged him the other day and he was like, I messaged him the other day kind of explaining like, hey, I'm feeling more free at the moment and like doing better anyway, whatever. It was nice seeing you because I bumped into him at Midsummer and we had a really beautiful dance floor encounter kiss.
Midsummer
closing. And where am I going with this? And yeah, so I sent him that. And then I also sent, because that night after the kiss, he was like, where have you been? I was like, oh, just working and stuff. And I was like, did I hurt you? And he said, yes. And that's why I also said in the message, I was like, I'm really sorry I hurt you. And I didn't mean to. And if there's anything, if we hang out again, we can talk about like what you want and what you're expecting so that it doesn't happen again. And he wrote back, hey, I really want to talk to you, but I'm out and I'm drunk and I don't think it's a good idea now. And I was like, haha, no worries, enjoy yourself. And I haven't heard back since then. And that was 5 days ago.
Oh,
that's why I wonder if it's heavier for him than I'm realizing. Because why hasn't he written back?
Oh, I don't know. It could be heaps of reasons. It doesn't matter. That you're in fine shape.
Yeah.
There's nothing weird or strange about that. People don't have to message you within 5 days.
Do you know what? Maybe I'm literally doing the equal and opposite thing that I'm suspicious of him doing, which is I felt like I didn't want to respond every day and I just wanted that freedom, even though we weren't off in my book. And now I'm actually maybe being a little bit like, yeah, I haven't responded in 5 days. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I kind of set the tone.
Yeah.
I need to make my bed and lie in it.
How are you feeling about this episode?
Pretty good. How about you? It was a little bit more, it went in a more self-help. We got a bit more deep today, guys.
Yeah.
This wasn't a laugh a minute.
Yeah. Do you want to go home?
Yeah.
All right. So what did we learn?
Single life. It's very fun, but also challenging. And that power lies in your hands.
Yeah.
Which I'm being corny, but I also believe everything I'm saying right now.
Yeah. Everyone has different expectations. It's kind of not really possible for no one to ever get hurt.
No, it actually isn't. And I think that I'm really going to try to be more compassionate towards other people because honestly, talking about my own dating history has me just kind of realizing how many... I genuinely don't think I've done anything terrible. I've never ghosted anyone. One time I went out with this guy and then said I'd see him again and then I changed my mind and I did not disappear. I literally wrote back and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry. I know I said let's do it again, but I've had a little think and I think you're actually not this isn't what I'm looking for. You're actually ugly. No. This is what I'm looking for, and I'm really sorry, and I'm sorry if I've led you on.
When you said this is what I'm looking for, did you send a picture?
Yeah, I was like, this is what I'm looking for, actually. Do you know what it is, guys? So I feel like I've been honorable and I've tried my best, but like literally looking back, I'm like, there are things that I've done that I'm sure have hurt people. And I think that I'm going to try to be a little bit more, because it's really easy to come at dating with a little bit of a like, why are guys bad? Why me? Why? You know what I mean? I have done that, and I'm a little bit more aware of like, people just change their mind. Things happen. People get stressed. People get anxious. People work too much. You know what I mean? And I'm going to try to be a little bit less of like, you know what I mean?
My mind wandered slightly during that.
Did you hear a thing I
did. And what I heard reminded me of when that girl who I used to work with left my work and gave a speech where she said, like on her last day, she was like, I know I've made a lot of mistakes.
What would you say?
And I've heard a lot of people and her like going away like cake in the tea room. Like,
what the fuck? What did she do in that job?
I don't know.
That's so intense.
I know.
That's crazy.
On that note,
See
see you next week. Mwah.
Mwah.